16 WAPT News. A judge ruled against the mayor in the Jackson garbage fight.
We do not have money to throw away on a lawsuit that cannot be won on appeal.
Now residents are wondering what's next. Jackson water problems linger for people struggling to get it.
A lot of them can't drive, okay? We have to get it to them.
The president taking heat from pro-choice supporters who claim he should be doing more to protect abortion access. His response today. 16 WAPT News starts now.
The one to watch. This is Jackson's 16 WAPT News. Live at 10.
Good evening, I'm Scott Simmons. The Jackson Fire Department confirming tonight they found the remains of a body while they were putting out a brush fire. It happened on Thomas Catching Senior Drive around 9 p.m. Friday night. Jackson police responded to the scene once the body was found. The identity of that person has not yet been revealed. Now to the confusion for Jackson residents tonight following Friday's ruling on the garbage contract by a judge in Hinds County Chancery Court. Residents now wondering what that decision means for trash collection. 16 WAPT's Grayson Gordon joins us live now from City Hall with the latest.
Scott, we're getting into the fourth month of Richards Disposal picking up trash in the capital city without an approved contract from city council members. And council members and residents that we talked to say that they really just want this dispute settled.
All right.
A court ruling Friday has thrown another wrench in the garbage dispute between City Council and Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba. Despite the judge ruling in favor of City Council, the mayor says he plans to appeal the opinion to the Mississippi Supreme Court.
So I think that this is certain to go forward with more legal action.
Councilmember Kenneth Stokes says he will attempt to block an appeal with the city ordinance if the mayor follows through.
We do not have money to throw away on a lawsuit that cannot be won on appeal, even if you take it to the United States Supreme Court.
Judge Larry Roberts wrote his opinion Friday, siding with City Council, saying Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba does not have the authority to veto a negative vote regarding the city's garbage contract. When we asked the mayor afterwards if the current company, Richards Disposal, will continue picking up trash, he cannot give us an answer. This leading to confusion in Jackson communities, with some reporting unpredictable pickup times over the weekend.
It was a little late being picked up, I guess because they were trying to figure out who's going to get paid.
City Council has said the company will not get paid by the council without an approved contract. Richards Disposal has continued to pick up trash despite not getting paid.
It's like the type of work I do. If I go out and do any type of work, if I don't sign a contract on it, how can I get paid for it?
The council filed a lawsuit after Mayor Lumumba issued an emergency order giving the garbage contract to Richards Disposal. The council has voted against giving Richards Disposal the contract multiple times.
I just hope that the city of Jackson, the mayor, and all the other constituents can get together and work out a deal that will be best for the citizens, so we won't be having this issue.
If we all get together and try to figure out what the problem is, maybe we can solve it.
The council voted last week to increase the sanitation cost. They're saying that what they were currently getting from residents was not enough to cover the entire cost that they had. Live outside City Hall, Grayson Gordon, 16 WAPT News.
Hey, thanks a lot, Grayson. Now, despite the city-wide boil water alert being lifted, for most of the city, at least, one Jackson City councilman, though, still delivering water to the elderly today, while Ward 5 Councilman Vernon Hartley delivering water today, and the notice is lifted now for most residents, but residents in Hartley agree that need for bottled water is still there, especially because of this hot weather that we're seeing in Mississippi.
Weather being as it is, that's meaning that we have to have more water. You know, you go to the store and buy water, it lasts probably a day and a half, then you got to try to figure out how you're going to get some more.
A lot of folks that may have some type of impediment, they're elderly, they're frail. A lot of them can't drive, okay? We have to get it to them.
There are still approximately 1,000 water connections under a boil water advisory because of work that was done on a water meter that caused a pressure drop. That notice is for the Queens Magnolia Terrace community. Now, to weather. With a live look outside tonight from our downtown Jackson Skycam. Meteorologist Adam McWilliams here now with Jackson's certified most accurate forecast.
It is another warm and muggy night, low 80s still here in Jackson, 81 degrees currently, and the last of the showers that we had across the Pine Belt area now beginning to fade. We'd have that stalled boundary, which is laying across the southern half of our area. This will be the focal point for maybe a few downpours tomorrow, but I do think most areas are going to be dry. Here's how the evening lays out. Temperatures falling back into the 70s, right around 74, 75 first thing in the morning. Now, next week is going to feature better rain chances in the afternoon. We'll talk more about that, and a look at your 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Adam, an 18-year-old was rushed to the hospital after he was hit by someone who was suspected of texting and driving. The crash happened on Robinson Road in Royal Oak. The driver, DeAndre Lane, collided with a wall after being hit. His cousin, Ladarius McGee, saw the wreck and feared the worst.
I'm shook up a little bit, praying, hoping he gets out. When I looked at him, what I'm saying, I started crying, I didn't know he was okay or what. But, they told me he good so far.
Expected to be okay. He, of course, is thankful it wasn't worse. There's still no word on the status of that other driver. Now to the aftermath of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Pro-choice protests have continued throughout the country since that landmark decision by the High Court to let individual states decide how they want to regulate, restrict, or even ban access to abortions. Friday, President Biden signed an executive order aimed at protecting access to abortions. But protesters say he has not done enough. During a bike ride near his home in Delaware today, the president addressed those protesters.
Yes, keep protesting, because keep making your point. It's critically important. We can do a lot of things to accommodate the rights of women in the meantime, but fundamentally, the only thing that's going to change this is if we have a national law that reinstates Roe v. Wade.
The president says the White House is looking to address specific issues like women not being able to cross state lines to access the procedure and protecting private information, like the data stored in apps that track menstrual cycles. Biden says he's already asked his medical staff to look at the possibility of declaring a public health emergency and whether he has the authority and what kind of impact that might have. Vice President Kamala Harris not holding back her criticism of that high court decision. Today, she joined CBS Sunday Morning to discuss the aftermath of that ruling. And she says the November midterm elections are a way for women to fight back.
Looking at elections coming up in 120-something days. They're going to be about who serves in Congress, and we need a pro-choice Congress. Again, you don't have to advocate or believe that this is right for you or your family, but don't let the government make the decision for her family, whoever she may be.
The vice president also emphasized the importance of local elections that will influence the future of abortion rights, access, and who will be enforcing laws that could criminalize medical providers or the women seeking services. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin joined CBS Face the Nation, reiterating his support for a state ban on abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Youngkin says, as a pro-life governor with a Republican-controlled House and a Democrat-led Senate, he's working to find a compromise between the two sides.
Well, I believe that what my job is to get something done. And I believe we can get a 15-week pain threshold bill done in Virginia for the first time. Think about it. This was a state, again, that just 18 months ago was talking about enabling abortion all the way up through and including birth. And now we're able to talk about a 15-week pain threshold bill where a baby feels pain. This is a remarkable moment for us, and it's an opportunity I'm not going to let go.
Abortion access has not changed in the state of Virginia since that Supreme Court decision. Abortion in that state is legal up to the end of the second trimester, which is around 27 weeks. Congress returns tomorrow. Here's what's on the agenda. Senate Democrats are trying to revive the president's Build Back Better bill, or at least portions of it. Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin are working on agreements aimed at lowering prescription drug costs and raising taxes on high-income earners to keep Medicaid afloat. There are also negotiations regarding a climate and energy agenda, but nothing is imminent. Political experts say pressure is on Democrats in an election year.
If for no other reason than the Democrats want to get the Republicans on record as voting against them. Of course, the Democrats are facing a serious headwind with the usual losses in the House and Senate that occur midterm, and of course, with inflation being very high.
Negotiations for the president's $2 trillion Build Back Better climate and spending proposal broke down earlier this year after Senator Manchin cited concerns over the price tag and rising inflation. In Uvalde, Texas today, hundreds of people marching in the heat, demanding answers and accountability in the school shooting massacre. The Unheard Voices March and rally reflects that community's frustration over the 21 lives lost on May 24th at Robb Elementary School. There is growing concern and frustration over the slow pace of the investigation and who can be held accountable.
Those of you that got daughters and are next to your daughters, please give them a hug for me, because I can't hug my granddaughter again.
These families deserve our support. They deserve justice. They deserve answers, and they deserve action. Every one of them, to a person, has told me they never want to see another family go through this, and so I'm marching with them today to support what they're doing and what they're asking for.
The Uvalde County Sheriff expected to testify tomorrow before the Texas panel investigating the police response in that massacre. The panel's preliminary report could be released within the next 10 days.
Yeah, the muggy weather is still around central Mississippi, and take a look at these local dew point numbers. You get into the good fill air up here along the Tennessee line. Will this nice fill air try to come into parts of the state? We'll take a look at that coming up, but there's a look at the heat index because of these high dew point numbers still in the low 80s, low 90s, I should say upper 80s across much of central Mississippi. Next week, typical July weather around here with the increased threat of showers and downpours. We'll talk about that in the 7-day forecast coming up.
Coming up, the final two January 6 public hearings are set for this week, with key testimony expected from former President Trump's White House counsel and a former advisor changing his mind and now deciding to testify publicly. Details ahead on that. And the WNBA honoring Brittany Griner, who remains in Russia. The latest on the efforts to bring her back home. You're watching Jackson 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
What y'all thought about our news? About the news and Jackson and shit? You know, something like that. You ain't gotta say nothing. Yeah. Y'all comment down below and such. Mm-hmm.
Have money to throw away on a lawsuit that cannot be won on appeal.
Okay, let me download the.
It's right.